So not a lot of cars on the road sound like this.
We back with another one, and today I have a review of the 2023 Ford Ranger. And in order to do that, we need to understand the history of Ford in our country. I bet many of you did not know that Ford has been present in our country for at least 100 years. So this company was first founded in South Africa in 1923. So it was established in Port Elizabeth in Qhubeka, introducing local assembly operations with a car called the Model T. The company quickly became the first global vehicle manufacturer to establish operations in South Africa, introducing the first cars which were produced in the continent that started in our country here in South Africa, and this led to the expansions of more facilities, showcasing the growth in the region. So as a result of that, cars that were produced per day, surprisingly it was producing at least 10 cars per day, which is very small if you compare to today. So moving on, in the 1960s there was a significant domestic automotive sector, introducing a lot of cars locally, and as a result Ford established a plant called the Product Development and Engineering Facilities. This was responsible for testing cars locally, doing research of unique cars locally. As a result, it led to the production of the Bantam Bakkie. I bet many of you did not know that, but that's something very interesting in terms of knowing that Bakkie was produced locally and all the research was done locally here. So moving on all the way to the 1990s, so cars were a lot at that time, and cars that were produced on the road, there were more than the ones that were produced back then when Ford was initially established. But still, the Ford remained dominant in our country, and they acquired a significant equity at a stake of SMA COL, which was showing the confidence of Ford in our country, and that's something that happened in 1994. So moving on to the early 2000s, Ford attained full ownership of the SMA COL and established a Ford Motor Company in the southern of Africa. So this was a strategic shift towards the Ranger platform. So that's when the first Rangers were starting to be produced in our countries, and there was a lot of investment in production capacity, which signaled the new era of growth in terms of the company. So there was a lot of investments which were made in 2010. This included the modernization of Silverton operations and introducing new engine lines program, further strengthening its position in South Africa. And the company was very innovative in terms of the economic special and then the job creation and the economic growth. So that's just a brief summary of Ford in terms of our country. I just wanted to give you a brief history of the company, just so that you understand just how far Ford comes from. So now let's talk about the car that you are here, the reason why you clicked the video. So let's look in terms of this car inside. So I don't want to lie, this is a very good looking car. What you're looking at, you are looking at dual exhaust that you already had. They sound very epic, and the tires is 17-inch alloy wheels, and they are very wide. So in terms of the interior, this car is being made to be a durable car. Basically, it's cars which were designed for off-roading so that nothing just gets damaged so easily. So everything is very durable. So there's just some noteworthy features. So for the first one, let's talk about the features which contribute to safety. It has 7 airbags, for the driver, the passenger side airbags, the curtain, and also the knee airbag. So the first thing that you notice when you get in this car is that big infotainment system. So that's a 12-inch infotainment system that stands vertically. I'm sure if you've watched a lot of car reviews, for some cars this type of infotainment system is able to rotate and stand horizontally. So in terms of the Ford, it doesn't do that, so it's fixed, but still that's very big. So what I like is that they were able to separate the air conditioning, so you don't need to go to the screen to try to adjust the aircon as the car is moving. So that's the nice thing. And the other thing that you get a multifunctional steering wheel. You also get wireless charging. So yeah, there's a lot of good features in terms of this car. So what you're looking at, this is an automatic, so it comes with a 10-speed automatic transmission. So the only downside about these cars is that you know if you buy it, they're gonna come and try to take it. But yeah, definitely that's a story for another day. So I moved into the back and tried to find a beautiful space, because it doesn't matter, like, why would you buy such a big car and it doesn't have space? So what I checked was the knee room. The knee room was nice, but the downside is that the car was very dark, so it could really use some light interior. So let's talk about what really matters. So as you can see, this is the trim below the Raptor. So you get a lot of features that you get on the Raptor, but for less. So this price is around 679,000. In terms of the spec, this is a spec that I would go for, because now I'm going to talk about the finances in terms of the Raptor, and you can just see how much you're going to be paying in terms of the Raptor. So if you go for the Raptor variant, you get a bi-turbo 3-liter V6, and you already know that's a 3-liter, which means that it's going to be sucking up a lot of petrol. But in order to get all that performance, it produces around 292 kilowatts, which is approximately 391 in terms of horsepower, and in terms of newton meters of torque, that's 583 newton meters of torque. Then how much are you gonna cough up if you want the Raptor? Yeah, you're gonna cough up a lot. You're gonna cough up starting from around 951,000, almost a million, all the way to 2.5 million. So most of them, they are not below a million. So that's a lot of money. That's big money, but I don't want to lie, that's a lot of cars. It's just that the downside is that imagine paying that amount of money and someone just comes and takes your car. So in terms of fuel capacity, if you wanna travel every day with this car, you're gonna get 80 liters, and if you are refueling with the current rates of petrol that are so high, and you multiply that by 23.73, you can expect to pay approximately 1.9 in terms of full tank every time when you want to refuel this car. So yeah, I don't know, but it's up to you. I know that there are people who can afford this car, and that is being my review in terms of the Ford Ranger and the Raptor version of it, and that is being my insights. For those who can afford this car and your ancestors are good and they're gonna protect you, definitely that's something that you can consider. Or you can consider the next one, which if you choose the next one, you're gonna lose some features. The first features, which are those beautiful headlights, which are LED, you're gonna lose them. So you're gonna lose a lot of nice features, but at the same time you're gonna pay less. But I would say that just go for the XLT model. That seems like that's the best spec, and make sure that your ancestors are in check and your prayers are in check. Otherwise you're gonna see your car going towards the border, to the other side. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you around. And for those who haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It helps a lot. It doesn't take much from your side, but it means a lot to me. And for those who are coming back again, and thank you for your support, and I hope to see you again and on the next one.